Just a couple of drops of olive oil. Hi there. Welcome to my kitchen on a Monday evening. Like so many of us, we are doing a lot of fast and easy cooking these days because, as you know, people are locked inside, so to speak, and most of the time everybody is kind of tired and impatient and they just want things done quickly. Fortunately, there are many dishes available for fast and easy weeknight cooking, and this is one of my favorites. This is going to be Dutch oven chicken and rice, and boy, are we going to be using a special kind of cast iron pot for this tonight. In fact, that's why I wanted to record this, so that I could talk to you a little bit about the Lodge Sportsman deep fish fryer. But right now we are just getting this chicken ready. Just no more than a couple of drops of olive oil is all we need, at which point then we will start giving it a coating. Many things you can rub your chicken with. Tonight I'm just using one of my favorites, Old Bay seasoning. Nice huge container of this stuff, thanks to BJ's Wholesale. Oh yes, before you ask, yes, I'm going to be changing my bandage after preparing the chicken tonight. I would not be infecting anyone other than myself, and anyway, this chicken is going to be cooked so that it is definitely well done, so there's no risk of infecting anyone. Likewise, I'm going to treat this very well, so I won't be infected. So again, just a couple of drops of olive oil is all we need. Just enough to coat the surface and give it, as they say, a binder so that the rub sticks to the skin. And not to worry about overdoing it with the rub either. This is going to be baked, or rather braised, in a cast iron pot. So any extra seasoning will likely come out and flavor the rice that we'll be cooking with it, or help to flavor it. These, of course, are my favorite pieces of chicken leg quarters. My favorite because I love dark meat, and they are almost always the cheapest cuts at the supermarket. These ones were 99 cents a pound, which is pretty typical. Sometimes I can get them less than that. Believe me, that is more than enough chicken. This is going to be likely a few days worth of chicken, in fact, which certainly makes this worth it. Because again, we are extending the cost of preparing this chicken over the next, well, at least couple of days or more. And now to bring out the star of the show, and that would be the Lodge Sportsman deep fish fryer. Among other things, I'm proud to own this one, especially considering how I acquired it. From eBay, no less, yet instead of paying through the nose, I got it at a relative discount. That's because the person selling it was trying to sell it as a Griswold, and when I point out this is actually from Lodge, he took a substantial price cut. Ah yes, this duck design, of course, comes from their Wildlife series. I'm not sure if they actually considered this to be part of the Wildlife series, or if they simply reused the design on the lid. Either way, it is, of course, very attractive. For the record, Lodge actually obtained the design for this from Birmingham Stove Range. BSR went out of business in 1992, and they did make some deals with Lodge, and so to settle their debt, they passed on the design and ownership of several of their pieces to Lodge. That included their famous cornbread skillet, and also the Sportsman grill, which included the deep fryer here. Also the shallow fryer, but I don't think Lodge ever made the shallow fryer, unfortunately. Also of note, the handles on this lid were actually a BS&R trademark. Notice the way they curve upward to make it easier to grasp and lift it. None of the cast iron pots sold today, from Cabela's or Cajun Classic or any of the others, have that kind of handle. What's interesting is, even though this came from Lodge, I think the markings on the bottom may have come from the original Birmingham Stove Range pattern, both from the font and the shape of the lettering, and also from the way there is actually a ghost mark. You can see how the Made in USA is much more prominent than the much lighter writing in practically the same place that says 3060 fish fryer. And this is nice and simple. To this we add about 4 cups of rice. That's going to produce a lot of rice, but like I said, this is going to be for several days. And so the ratio is, of course, twice the amount of water, which would be 8 cups of water. I've found from experience that using maybe a little bit less than twice the amount of water seems to work best on this, so that it doesn't become waterlogged. So given that, we are doing about 7 cups of water here. And to this, we add probably about a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. If you're going to get soy sauce, folks, get the good stuff. Go to an Oriental market and not your regular supermarket, because this stuff here I bought for about $1.50 or so. So anyway, Lodge got the design for this pot from Birmingham Stove Range. They started producing it about the early 90s or so, and they continued until they discontinued it. I'm told it was about 2002. Since then, this pot has not been reproduced by Lodge, or at least not yet. Who knows what they'll do with their re-releasing Legacy series coming. However, other manufacturers have made their own versions of this, and those have turned out to be pretty popular. You can get this, for instance, at Cabela's, under their own house brand. And this may seem like way too much water, but trust me, this is actually just fine. The water will be absorbed by the rice as it cooks. So between the soy sauce and the Old Bay seasoning, there's definitely going to be a lot of flavor to this. Because we do not want to waste the extra seasoning. The oven, by the way, is preheated to 375 degrees. For a full chicken, we may have to cook this for about 90 minutes or so. However, for these chicken quarters, I'm betting it should be done anywhere between an hour to maybe an hour 15 minutes at the very most. So that is fast and easy cooking. And there we go. And into the oven for about anywhere from 60 to 80 minutes. Oh, and for the record, I did indeed clean and redress my bandage. And as they like to say in France, voila! This is why I love making this dish. It is so easy and inexpensive, especially in these times. That is certainly something to be considered. And of course we can't forget the rice, because there is something special about making rice in cast iron, and that would be the pagao. There is nothing like caramelized rice scraped from the bottom and sides of a cast iron pot. This may be even better than the chicken. And notice nothing stuck to the bottom either. Well, what do you expect when you cook in a large cast iron pot? For easy and cheap and filling weeknight cooking to serve a large number of guests, this is about as good as you can get. And as such, I do hope you folks enjoy this. This again is the large Sportsman deep fish fryer, which dates from the 1990s. To possibly 2002. Here's hoping they re-release it, because I'd certainly like to see more people getting this and using it. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to post your comments below. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and please do keep safe in these times.